Hello YouTube, I'm Hellhound and welcome to my Midnight Spook Show, even though it's in the middle of the day. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at Bloody Birthday from 1981. Another pretty good slasher film, I must say. Pretty sick and twisted. The plot concerns three kids who are all born on the same day during a weird solar eclipse. And since they were born in this eclipse, it apparently blocked the planet Neptune, and so that's what supposedly controls emotions. I don't know, some kind of astrology backstory. And so now the kids lack emotion, they lack empathy, and they're just cold-blooded, sinister killers. And they decide to go around killing people. So it's a trio of evil kids murdering people, and a girl named Joyce Russell, played by Laurie Levin, who was also in Return to Horror High. She investigates, and she catches on to the kids' plot and tries to stop them. That's the basic plot. There's not really much to it. Just three evil kids going around killing people. Now, unless it's Children of the Corn or The Omen or Demonic Toys or even this recent movie I watched called Whisper, which I thought was pretty good, I'm not really a big fan of evil kids in horror movies, but I will say this movie does it pretty well. It takes the concept and I think it goes with it, pretty nicely. The three kids are very sinister. They're very deranged. I don't know which one's the craziest. Probably either. Well, their names are Debbie, Curtis, and Steven. And I think Curtis might be the craziest. He's played by Billy Jane, who was also in Cujo. And I don't know, Debbie's pretty sick and twisted too. They're all really disturbed, and they take pleasure in killing people, and they smile while they do it. And they're pretty good actors too. They're pretty believable. You really do believe that that they lack emotion, and they're basically homicidal sociopaths. So it's a pretty interesting concept. This movie gets right to the point. It goes right into the action. You already know that the kids are the three killers, so I didn't spoil it for you. You already know that they're the ones doing the murdering. It goes right into that. It even says it, on the back of the box and everything. So, no surprise there. There's no twists and turns in this movie. There's not really much humor at all. There's hardly any comedic moments. It's pretty bleak and pretty joyless. It's pretty grim. It's not really all that suspenseful or scary or anything. Like, you just kind of see the kids that are just walking around. They go to kill somebody, with a grin on their face, or they shoot people with guns and bow and arrows and beat them with baseball bats. I really like the arrow in the eye. That was probably my favorite kill. These are some really sick, twisted little bastards, and it was really believable. And now I gotta say, none of the characters, aside from the three, juvenile killers, none of the characters are really all that interesting. Most of them were pretty paper thin. I guess Laurie Levin was okay as Joyce. I found her pretty believable. And then also Debbie, the little psycho girl's older sister. Beverly, played by Julie Brown, I believe. She was good too. She was the one. There's a lot of gratuitous nudity in this movie too. I think there's at least like 3 tit shots, and then with Julie Brown being one of the contributors to that. So yeah, it's definitely a nasty movie. It's definitely got a very dark, twisted sense of humor. It's got a really cruel, really mean-spirited streak. So I appreciate that. I like movies like that. And as I said, I'm not really a huge fan of evil children and horror, but I think this is definitely one of the better ones. And it was one of the earlier. This is before Children of the Corn. It was after The Omen, of course. But this is one of the first movies to kind of do that. Way before Village of the Damned and Sinister and every other freaking horror movie having an evil kid in it now. They just milked that subgenre to death. But this movie is definitely one of the better ones. It's one of the only birthday themed horror films I can think of, along with Happy Birthday to Me, which I reviewed a few days ago. So check that out if you haven't already. So yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Again, not really all that well written, not really all that too interesting. The characters are kind of bland and one note, kind of paper thin, kind of forgettable. Just to see 3 deranged little children, little evil 10-year-olds, all thing people. Got Debbie, the little girl, even kills her father and her older sister. These kids are just like they're really, really twisted. They don't You know, they don't value human life at all. They just find fun in killing people. It's all they do. It's all they want to do. And they fake having emotions in a few scenes. They pretend like they're sad or pretend like they're scared, but really they're just, you know, they're cold and blank. They're emotionless, kind of like Michael Myers. You know, so I thought that was done pretty well. And also the birthday theme. You know, all three kids were born on the same day, same exact day, so they're all celebrating this, you know, the same birthday together. There's a pretty cool scene where Curtis, you know, one of the evil kids, pretends like he poisons the cake, and it's got Joyce going all crazy, and you know, then they think that she's the crazy one. The kids are like, you know, people think that they're just innocent, sweet little angels, you know, and they're constantly throwing the adults, you know, on the wrong track. You know, and when the three of them get together, man, they can, you know, they're a force to be reckoned with. They can take down anybody. And then there's another kid named Timmy, actually Joyce's younger brother, who he catches on to the kid's evil scheme pretty early on too. And he tries to stop them, but nobody believes Joyce or Timmy. So I thought that was done pretty well. Any flaws? Yeah, well, as I said, the characters are kind of forgettable. Aside from the movie getting straight to the point at the beginning, it is kind of slow-paced, kind of dull. Some scenes drag on a little too much. Also, I think the ending was kind of, like, while a little shocking, was kind of underwhelming and kind of, I don't know, I kind of wanted more. I kind of expected it to go, you know, a little further with this plot. It just kind of ended, you know. I mean, there was one final scare or whatever, of course, but, like, aside from that, it was just kind of abrupt and kind of, you know, kind of a poor way to finish a movie in my opinion. There was a lot of build up but no payoff, in other words. But overall, I'd give this maybe a 7 out of 10. You know, it's not one of the worst. It's not one of the absolute best, you know, 80s slashers, but certainly not one of the worst. I'd say it's definitely worth seeing. It's definitely very unique. It takes kind of an interesting premise. So, you know, it feels pretty fresh and original, I'd say. You know, these kids are really deranged, and it's weird. It's just a picture of the kids right there on the I think that's like the old poster artwork, and they look nothing like the kids in the movie. I mean, that kind of looks like Curtis, but you know, well, I mean, they kind of resemble him a little bit, but they look a lot different. I think that did they draw that artwork before the kids were even cast? I don't know. Yeah, pretty cool cover too, of course. The bloody birthday cake with the fingers as candles. So yeah, another birthday themed horror film. You know, the best one's obviously Happy Birthday to Me, as I said, but if there was a second best, it'd probably be this one, unless I'm not thinking of one, unless I'm forgetting something. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'd suggest you check out Bloody Birthday. The nightmare begins with the kids next door. Disturbing images, a high body count, and plenty of gratuitous sex. There's no doubt that this movie could not have been made today. Really. Come on, it's still making really, really shocking, overly gory and overly, you know, sex-filled movies. When that stopped, they could probably make something even worse now. But most of it's just unintelligible, boring, generic drivel. It's all rubbish. Most horror movies today are garbage. That's why seeing It was so refreshing, because it's actually one of the best horror movies I've seen in a long time. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, it was good, but it was awesome. But yeah, there's a few other good horror out there. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, like I always do. See Bloody Birthday. I think you'll enjoy it. Evil little kids. It's kind of refreshing that they weren't like demonic, or you know, they weren't the Antichrist. They weren't possessed by Satan or anything like that. It was just because of a weird eclipse 10 years earlier. They don't really go on like a lengthy backstory with that either. That's not really what the story is. It's basically just three kids and they kill people, and it's really not any more complicated than that. They're just, you know, they just had to give them like kind of a brief motivation and explanation, you know, an origin story. It was a very, very, very brief and abrupt one, you know. So yeah. Well, that's Bloody Birthday in a nutshell. Directed by Ed Hunt. So yeah, I guarantee you add this one to your collection if you like evil little kids and 80s slasher films, you know, with a unique kind of twist, you know, something new to add to the table. It offers a little more than just, you know. Well, actually, the story is pretty basic, pretty simple, you know. Not very subtle, pretty straightforward, but pretty simple nonetheless. But you know, it's a good way to kill a good hour and a half. Alright guys, well check out Bloody Birthday, and thank you for watching my reviews. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think of this movie in the comments if you've seen it, and until next time, I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching the Horror and Metal channel. Later.